Hello all! With the Pikmin 4 gameplay trailer releasing in the most recent Nintendo Direct, I've seen a lot of people doing breakdowns and analyzing hidden details of the trailer, but I haven't seen many people theorize about the plot itself. So in this video, I wanted to discuss some of my theories on what awaits us on our next trip to PNF 404. I foresee this game taking place sometime after the first 3 games, so far in fact, that PNF 404 has become something of a tourist attraction, like an intergalactic Jurassic Park.
What could possibly go wrong?
Hence the castaways, and like Jurassic Park, something has gone horribly wrong. This setup also mirrors the aesthetic and environments of the game well. No longer is it intended to feel like a hostile, untamed foreign environment, but instead more like a theme park that is bright and cheerful and feels more familiar and comfortable, at least from a player perspective given the more human environments. The re-addition of caves is a nice reminder that even if the world appears friendly, there's still darkness lurking, literally, in this case, just below the surface. Essentially, the plot of the game is a rescue mission, and we are a team of rescue rangers sent to save the stranded castaways, vacationers in this Jurassic Park-esque disaster waiting to happen. A slight aside, the reason I believe that the castaways are vacationers, and not something like a team of research scientists, is for the simple fact that the driving force that kicked off the plots of both Pikmin 2 and 3 were greed and excess/poor planning respectively. So I feel it fits much more with the plots of the previous 2 games that the reason for the current disaster happening being attributed to greed, excess, or poor planning, or some combination of the above, hence the failed attempt to capitalize on PNF 404 resulting in the stranded castaways. Returning to the main point, I believe this also explains why all the captains have the red suits. It's a uniform of sorts, that allows them to be easily identifiable to those they are trying to rescue. That, in red, denotes emergency, similar to a fire truck. This also explains Oatchi's presence. He's a rescue dog similar to the kind used by police or fire departments that can help the team sniff out danger or castaways. Further evidence that he came with the team and is not native to PNF 404 is his red collar, indicating he's part of the rescue team, and it seems he is found in the initial landing site from the beginning of the trailer as evidenced by the thick greenery and unbroken potted plant obstacle behind him. Another aside, but I couldn't help but notice how much that initial space looks like a classic Pikmin area. No signs of human life, thick greenery, and not as open. This is almost certainly an intended effect, where upon breaking the potted plant, the player will be greeted with a Breath of the Wild-esque opening shot of a brighter, more open, and more human world the game takes place in. But that's besides the point. In addition to the above evidence, Oatchi also joins the trailer captain in the pod during the takeoff scene at the end of the trailer. Personally, I think he may have some relation to the species of Olimer's dog Bulby, given his Bulborb-like appearance and Olimer naming Bulborbs as such due to the resemblance. As for why he can breathe on PNF 404, I'll admit I'm not sure, but let's not worry about that for now. Given that we see the captain being played in the trailer arriving separately and presumably with Oatchi, they may have been sent last to aid in an ongoing rescue mission, perhaps the other captains being the first castaways that need rescue. It's also possible that the large ship is the ship the initial team of rescuers arrived in, stranding them on the planet as well. After all, they do remain on the ground when the player takes off at the end of the trailer. Speaking of the captains, many people are wondering whether the captains come from Kopai, Hakatate, or somewhere new entirely. This is up for debate due to them having the pointy ears of Hakatations, but round eyes of Kopaites. My theory is both. Since I suspect this game takes place somewhere after the first 3, it's possible the news of the Kopaites' mission and rescue of Olimer led to increased cultural contact between the 2 planets, resulting in Kopaites and Hakatations forming bonds and even starting families. I propose the captains are half Hakatation and half Kopaite, explaining the combination of features. Increased cultural contact also explains the appearance of the ships, containing some aesthetic elements such as color from Hakatate technology and the cleaner, more high-tech look of Kopaite technology. This, in addition to the text on the ship being written in Kopaite text that spells out either HTCUGN or HTOUGN, and that translation's from the wiki, I didn't figure that out myself. This is wishful thinking, but maybe the HTC could stand for Hakatate Tourism Company, going along with the idea that this game is about rescuing stranded tourists. Perhaps the large ship could, instead of being for the captains, even be a tour bus of sorts. The small pod reads something similar, either being HTCU or HTOU. Perhaps the rescuers are employed by the company responsible for sending these castaways on a doomed vacation in the first place. As for collectibles, I believe there will actually be 3 types: the castaways, treasures, and food. We know there will be regular treasures and castaways, and we can also see food-based treasures in the trailer, but I think food will be in its own category similar to Pikmin 3's juice system, acting as a sort of time limit for the game. I also believe the regular treasures aren't being collected for their monetary value, but instead due to their value in a search and rescue mission. This one is a bit far-fetched, I'll admit, but of the treasures we can clearly see in the trailer, there are binoculars, a toy boat, a clock, and according to the wiki, a castanet, which I didn't catch myself. Binoculars are useful for the theme of search and rescue by allowing one to see further away, a boat for water-based exploration missions, a clock for keeping track of time, obviously. The castanet apparently is a type of instrument, so perhaps that doesn't quite work in the theme as well, but entertainment is always important. I don't necessarily think these treasures will be used literally for the uses stated above, but serve more of a thematic purpose. I also believe some of these treasures will offer direct upgrades to the captains, like in Pikmin 2, or are somehow used to upgrade or repair the large ship, as it can be seen with additional components later in the trailer. And okay, I'll admit, some of these ideas are a little far-fetched, but some I think are a lot more plausible. Of course, you're welcome to share your own theories or agree or disagree with me in the comments below. And as is customary to say in these videos, if you enjoyed what I said, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll try to do more of these in the future. So thank you for watching, and please join me next time as I don't know what I'm going to do next, but join me next time anyways. Goodbye.